Hello everybody and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. I've gone ahead and played a couple of days. We are now on the 14th day of spring. And today is an important day because it's an unofficial festival is what I like to call it. It's an event that's marked on our calendar, but it's not traditional in the sense that the villagers just kind of come and go as they please. Nothing is closed. It's optional. You don't have to take part in it if you don't want to, and it's more or less a romantic sort of festival than anything else. So as a boy, we are going to be giving cookies to girls to show our appreciation. Now, you might ask yourself, well, how do we give cookies because we do not have a kitchen? And my answer to that is that I've gone ahead and I've bought pieces of chocolate from Chen's store for about $100 each, and that will suffice in place of cookies. And there's no bonus from giving a small piece of chocolate to cookies or chocolate cookies or anything like that. So it's the most economical thing to do to just go and buy some chocolate and give it to them. If you're playing as a female character, this would be the day that the boys will bring you chocolates, but because it's so early on in the game, the first year you're probably going to miss out. A marriage candidate has to have a purple heart in order for them to bring you gifts, and normally you have to also give them a gift as well. So unfortunately, if you're playing as a girl character, you're not going to get much use out of this festival in your first year, but if you're a boy, you're going to be able to get a huge boost of affection early on in the game, which is really, really nice. And that was part of the reason that I wanted to make sure that I had talked to all the girls and they had all kind of warmed up to me. If you've ignored the females in town or the males in town, whoever it is you're giving gifts to, it's just like any other gift and they won't accept it. So you want to make sure that you've been paying attention to them so that they will accept your gift. And the really nice thing about this festival too, being that it's kind of an unofficial festival day and all the villagers are in town and not gathered at the meadow, is that you can still shop around. So if you had absolutely no idea about this festival and you didn't know what it was all about and you learned about it on the day of really, really late, you can actually just come to Chen's if you have the money, and you can just go ahead and buy the chocolate that you need, or say you're a couple of chocolates short, you can just go ahead and buy it from here. Because we only have 4 girls in town right now, I just went ahead and bought the 4 pieces that I needed. And giving them a piece of chocolate is the same as giving them their favorite gift. So each piece of chocolate that I hand out on this special day will be worth about 800 friend points, which is a pretty nice boost, especially early on, because I find a lot of the girls like gifts that are a little bit more difficult to find. You have to have animals, you have to have a large array of crops, you have to have makers, such and so forth. Cooking is also a huge part of this. There's a lot of characters that liked a lot of cooked things. And when I was playing as a female, what I found is that you can give gifts to pretty much any female character on the island. So for example, I can try and give something to Mirabelle maybe, and see what she says. How sweet, you didn't have to give me anything. They actually all will have a unique piece of dialogue. If you give any and all women chocolates on this day as a male, or if you give all the males in town chocolate when you're playing as a female, which I thought was actually pretty cool. I don't know how I stumbled across that. But there's just a little fun fact for you if you're interested. I'm gonna go and replace the piece of chocolate that I gave away. And I'm going to go and find Lana and Sabrina now, because I've given 2 of the 4 their chocolate. And the other 2 girls should be over on Sprout Island. So I'll go to Lana's house first here. I hope she'll accept my gift. I know the last time I think I was playing she wouldn't, but I've made an effort to talk to her, so thank goodness. The other great thing about this, the beauty of this, is that if, for example, the person you're giving the chocolate to doesn't normally like chocolate as a gift, so say chocolate normally on a normal day is a disliked gift or it's a neutral gift, you'll still be able to reap the benefits of giving them the chocolate. So regardless of how they feel about the gift on a normal day, if you give them a gift on Harmony Day, it's still worth 800 friend points and they'll still always be happy to get it as a gift, which is really nice. So the girl version of this festival is all the way in winter time. So all of the girls that we've given chocolates to should be coming to our house on the winter Harmony Day with gifts. And hopefully by that point we'll have good friendship levels with them so we can get better gifts. The higher the friendship level you have with them, the better the sweets you'll get, which I think is pretty cool. That was really the sort of main highlight of today that I wanted to make sure that I talked about. I think I'm gonna go and buy the rucksack upgrade because I'm tired of not having any inventory space. And I've got a decent amount of cash. I think that I can probably afford to do that and have some money left over. And then I better make sure that I also talk to everybody that I haven't talked to yet as well. The first rucksack upgrade is pretty cheap. It's about 2 grand, I think. And that is going to be so beneficial to us if we have a look now in our rucksack. It's expanded it by all of these slots, which is amazing. I think we can carry 12 more items. There is another upgrade later on that we're gonna have to fork over a little bit more money for, but I will welcome that with open arms because I'm tired of swapping around all my items and not having space and such and so forth. I haven't collected any more sunstones. I've just been trying to be nice to all the villagers and give them gifts and work up their friendship in the hopes that soon I will be able to get some other sunstones from them, but I haven't gone too crazy and done a whole lot of progress that I would need to update you guys on. And right now I'm kind of just running around. I'm not doing anything in any sort of order. I think my next goal is probably going to be to save for the chicken coop. I think starting with chickens is probably the easiest thing to do. It's the cheapest building to build. And if I keep chopping down branches every single day, I'll have 150 lumber in no time. And then once I have the lumber I need, I'll need about $5,000, I think, which, believe it or not, actually adds up pretty quick. Oh, and look at that. Ganon is going to give us a sunstone. I found this stone in the back of my house the other day. I heard you were looking for these. Take it. It's yours. Alright. Look at that. Thanks, Ganon. That's excellent. So, yeah, if you give villagers gifts that they like, after a certain amount of gifts, they will hand over a sunstone. And they will also give you a sunstone once they reach a certain amount of friendship, which I think I have mentioned before. I think it's about 2 or 3 hearts. So Ganon will have another sunstone for us once we increase his friendship by a little bit more, but it's nice to see that my gift giving is already starting to pay off. I think I've talked to everybody now. There's lots of stones in town, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of branches. I think I'm being pretty on top of it. So now I guess the only thing that's left for me to do is to go back to the farm and work on clearing out the field. I went ahead and planted another plot of turnips here, and I still have a couple of potatoes that I'm waiting for. I'm not going to water them right now. What I'll do is I'll save before I go to bed, and I will load it if it needs to be watered and water it before the next day. But it's a rainy day tomorrow, so if I know it's raining the next day, I try not to water my crops at all until it's close to bedtime, because the last thing I want to do is drown my crops. Lots and lots and lots of boulders. I guess I can throw the material stone that I have. Or not the material stone, the lumber that I have, rather, into the shed. Because right now I don't actually have the ability to put material stone in there, as I found out. Organize the inventory a little bit here. And then, let's see, how many pieces of lumber do I have? I have 84 already, so you can see that if you just work at it a little bit each day, getting your supplies of items up isn't too terribly difficult. We now have 7 sunstones, which is great. Unfortunately, that's still not really enough for us to be able to do anything. We're still gonna have to wait until we get 12, ideally, because we want to start raising Mushroom Island and Mystic Island. If we get 1 more, we can raise Volcano Island for 8 if we want to do that instead, but I think I'll just wait, because I want to meet more villagers, and I want to get as many sunstones as quickly as I can. Not that I'm going for a speed run, but it's nice to sort of just get all of the easy sunstones out of the way first, and then work on and focus on those harder to get sunstones. Unfortunately, even though we're halfway through spring, there's still not a ton for me to do on a daily basis because I don't have any animals to look after. I'm very limited in what crops I can grow, such and so forth. So my stamina and my fullness are both at about half, so I think I'll stop right there. And I'll just make a save really quick and see how my crops are doing tomorrow morning, and see if they grew or not, or if they died, or if anything sort of happened to them. So I woke up quite late today because I'm hungry. You can see that the turnips have grown another stage, but the potatoes still haven't moved. So in that case, what I would do is I would probably just load my game, I would give them some water, and I would see if that made a difference at all. Because it's possible that the plant has enough sun, but it hasn't had enough water yet. Let's go ahead and just give these some water and see what that gives us, and then I can work on planting some more stuff, so now that I have a few empty squares. So now you can see that they're available to be picked. So that's just me showing an example of my save/reload trick. It is a lot of work in the long run, and it might seem like a waste of time to do that. But as you can see, I just did a little bit of testing, one reload, went back and did something different, and I was able to get my 2 potatoes a day early, which means that those 2 pieces of land are now available for me to replant on without having to wait another day. So now I have the option of planting more potatoes or planting more turnips. I don't think there's much really going on the calendar here. Unfortunately, the 2 festivals coming up are ones that we cannot take part in just because we don't have the animals available for these. We can take part in the crop festival at the end of the month, assuming that we have a turnip. So what I'll probably do is I'll just keep playing, and I'll see what happens. If I'm playing and I'm getting sunstones like crazy or something like that, then I'll make sure to reload my game, come back, and show that off so we can keep track together of the sunstones that I've gotten, because I'm bound to lose track. That's it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope that I will see you next time.